Hello everybody, I'm back. I got the 3-week update on my Gambler 500 car. Actually, I've been daily driving it since I finished the Gambler, and it's performing pretty well for everything that it went through. I mean, 600 miles, not taking easy. The car was not happy. So a little 1.8 liter inside only ever made 108 horsepower from the factory, and I'm not sure how many of those are left. Coming up hills, it was dropping all the way down to second gear at almost 5,000 to 6,000 RPMs just to maintain 50 mile an hour up the hills. Actually, it runs pretty good. It's got an O2 sensor code for where the whoever welded the O2 sensor into the exhaust system, which I now have to fix, but I'm just giving an update on what the current plan is. The plan will be from here, because this car is actually going to be used on the Gambler 500 Winter Wonderland in Oregon this November. I wanted to run Idaho, but I run my own business, so can't really work it into the schedule, and I'd rather run events that I know I can make and I know won't get in the way of me running my business. So I've decided to just skip Idaho and do the Winter Wonderland November 11th and 12th, I believe. So this video is just going to be an update on what I plan to have fixed on the car and all the little bugs I've found with it. I mean, it's got quirks. It's a 1993 Subaru that's been abused and has a salvage title, or rebuilt at this point. But yeah, let's just go over the car and see what I'm gonna do. So the next ideas for the car, because I already got the front bumper with the winch mount on it, I'm actually probably going to get a smaller winch. I think this winch actually impacts the amount of cooling that I get for the radiator and my extra transcooler that I've got down in there. It works and it's a great winch, but I think the car doesn't really need a 9,000 pound winch. It only weighs 2,500 pounds dry. So I think I'm going to step it down to probably a 8,000 or 9,000 pound, maybe. I think 8's the smallest I'll go. I'll probably end up with a 9,000 pound Harbor Freight winch on the front, just for having a 9,000 pound winch. It's actually a little bit smaller, and I'll probably run a synthetic cable instead of actual steel cable eventually. That way I don't have to worry about rust or, weight. Weight being the major killer with the 1.8 liter that makes 100 horsepower. As far as the rest of the car goes, I am going to be getting, I believe it's 2004 Forester XT struts. They are slightly taller, and the XT is a turbo model, so they're valve for a little bit more of a sport driving. So from what I've read online, the XT struts, bolting them on is bolting on a 2-inch lift kit. So Forester XT struts, front and rear, so that'll give me 2 more inches of ground clearance. I'm going to get camber adjusters so I can adjust the stance once everything is said and done. And then to go with the camber, I'll probably be running these tires for the winter, just because I don't really see the taller tires being that much of a gain when the motor can barely even turn them. That's going to wait until I get around to doing the motor. But to go with the lift kit, I'm going to finish up the front bumper, and it's going to tie into a complete belly pan all the way back to the rear differential. I'm not going to do rock sliders for right now. I don't really care about the rockers on this car. They can get dented for all I care. I can cut them off and replace them if I need to. and I already did do some damage to them. The rear bumper is going to pull off. I'm going to put a winch there, and I'm going to put a couple of better tow hooks on it. To go with the belly pan is going to get a full 2-inch exhaust system, which is made out of regular aluminized tubing. Not going to spend money on mandrel bends. I'm just going to do pie cut bends and make it work. I don't plan on spending a lot of money. I run my own little fabrication and performance business, so to me, nah, I guess we do fabrication and performance, but our primary thing that we seem to do is repairs, so take that as you will. I like to think of it as a fabrication performance shop because that's what I started it to be, and that's what my goal is to be still. So it's going to get basic maintenance. I switched it over to 1540 Delvac oil, so it'll have better oil in it than the crap that it was running when it ran through the Gambler 500, which I will admit the car made it through the whole Gambler 500 without a single issue, and it averaged 22 to 23 miles to a gallon, so that's not bad, you know, for pretty much its maiden voyage. I'd driven it like twice prior to that, just a little bit, and I hadn't even put fuel in it when I filled it up that morning to take it on the Gambler 500. And with the O2 sensor throwing a code, it actually started throwing a code the whole, right after we left the starting line for the Gambler 500. So, no, the car is not, I guess it is, and no, it's not really sponsored. I know the people that run Metro Transmissions. They're good people and they do great work. So I wanted a sticker for the back window just to make it look a little bit more race cars, and well, that's the biggest sticker I could get for free. Plus they're good. They help me find parts if I don't know where to look for it. I am going to finish up the front bumper. It's going to have a little bit of a style, kind of like a bull bar from the Australian big rigs. And I want to convert all the lights over to LED. I've got the little LED, I think they're like $19 Walmart brand lights on the front, and they're actually not that bad. They're brighter than the headlights are, and the headlights are almost brand new. So I'm definitely probably going to keep those, if not upgrade them. The front bumper will get finished out and go around, and it's actually going to come up and over and guard the headlights and the hood a little bit, so I don't have to worry about taking them out on trees and stuff like that, or branches. I'm going to be putting a snorkel on the car. It's going to just get it so I don't have to worry about submerging the front end in a little bit of water or mud. And that's the modifications that I've got to have done for this next Gambler 500. Well, actually, I don't have to have the lift kit. The lift kit's kind of a splurge. The biggest ground clearance issue for this car is the exhaust system that was done not by me, and the welds are not mine. And it actually hangs down and cuts the car's ground clearance down to next to nothing. I scrape going in and out of parking lots, and I don't scrape on anything on the body. I scrape on the exhaust. But I'm gonna tuck the exhaust up tight. Then I'm gonna put the belly pan on it so that the car's got, you know, if it hits something, it can just slide over the top of it, but it'll just have a really nice high clearance bottom. The 195/60 R15s that I have on it are handcuffed, brand new winter eye pikes. I mean, they're almost brand new. They were brand new when I got the car from the previous owner. Had less than 1,000 miles on them. That's the funny part about this car. The guy traded me for a Suburban that I'd bought, and I'd paid $600 for. I pulled a bunch of spare parts out of it that weren't really for it, sold those, and that Suburban was less than free. I actually have a set of wheels that came off that Suburban that are worth more than I paid for the Suburban by a few times. 20-inch Lowenharts. But I got that truck, had it sitting here. It was going to replace my black Suburban, which is a half-ton 99. Mine's really nice, and I was going to sell it to somebody, but that deal fell through, so the one I bought to replace it, I didn't need. Mine's got only 70,000 miles on the engine and transmission, and that's going to be in later episodes of my video series, because I have a plan for that vehicle. And it might piss people off. Actually, it's kind of the point of it. Get attention. This whole video series that I'm starting to do is just me wanting to, I guess, advertise a little bit for my company and what I can do. My company's name is RA Enterprises LLC. We do, as I said before, fabrication, performance work, as well as some of the, a lot of repair work. But you will never see a customer's car as video content fashion. You might catch something in the background, but that's not me. I don't use my customers' cars for advertising or for showing, I guess. I prefer to show my vehicles or, my toys. I don't have the nicest vehicles in the world necessarily. The Subaru is obviously not that nice. But it is what it is. What else was I going to say? I got a couple other vehicles that I plan on building, and your guys, or anybody who watches my videos is going to be along for the ride on that one. One of them, well, it was supposed to get delivered like last week and the week before, but I made a deal with my buddy a while ago, and I've got an S10 four-door Blazer, and that project is next on the list after I get the basics done on the Subaru, the exhaust and the belly pan done, and probably the snorkel, just so that the car is finished and running, and I can continue to daily drive it, because it gets 25 to 30 miles to a gallon average, so I'm not gonna not drive it. But it makes for a good little car. Gets good fuel economy, has lots of room. I like that fact. And that's where I'm at right now, I guess. I'm probably gonna wrap this up now and get back to work. I'm working on a customer's truck. I'm rebuilding all the floor pan, rockers, and everything. Actually, I've got the last cab corner to do right now on a 67 to 72 Chevy C10 pickup. I like working on these vehicles. I don't like working on newer stuff like the Subaru or stuff like, or even my Suburban. Really, not my favorite to work on. If you're just working on them, I'd rather work on something old like the C10 I'm working on right now. But I like doing the custom metal work, and we're going to be doing hand fabricated panels and hand fabricated, body work and stuff like that. So like fender flares on cars and stuff. I'm going to make all my own parts. I'm going to make as much as I can and only buy what I have to. I'm not rich. I don't claim to be. And you're going to watch me pretty much hold cars together with duct tape and dreams sometimes. But I'll do what I can. Oh, and the other thing that the Subaru is going to get eventually, if not before the race, this November, it's not really a race, it's a navigational challenge. It is going to get an upgraded solid aluminum radiator. Because, well, I'm not a fan of plastic end radiators in vehicles you abuse. They tend to break. And right now that radiator is not held in with anything but zip ties. That's a funny thing. They made that whole trip on zip ties. So, alrighty. Have a nice day, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.